if it hadn't happened to them.
It all started on the telephone.
What was the first indication you had that just something wasn't right?
It sounded like somebody was on the other extension. If I talked to my girlfriend, I would hear a click. And I'd say to her, well, who's on the other line? She'd say, no one here.
Soon they say it was more than clicking. The phone wouldn't ring, and incoming calls would go right to voicemail. The Tamais would get disconnected when they tried to call out. But that mystery was mild compared to what happened when Dwayne and Debbie went on vacation and left Debbie's friend, Cheryl McCandless, to house sit and keep an eye on Debbie's 15-year-old son, Billy. At first, Cheryl had trouble with the power going on and off. The power company couldn't find anything wrong. Then the password changed on the voicemail.
We couldn't pick up her messages. I called Bell. I talked to a supervisor there, and I said, how can this happen?
And what did the phone company say?
She said, it's impossible. Somebody can't get in there and change your PIN number.
Someone started making noises on the phone, and Cheryl started keeping a log.
The psycho calls himself SOMMY. It was threats and obscene calls from him. It got to the point that anyone I talked to or called, he would cut in the line and burp, grunt, and carry on. Unbelievable.
Cheryl says she was freaked out by this fanatic caller who told her he was watching the house. By the end of the week, someone had cut the phone lines. When the Tamais got back from vacation, they almost didn't believe Cheryl. But within hours, Debbie says she talked to SOMMY herself.
What did it sound like?
It was freaky. The first time I heard it, I'll never forget it. My hair stood on ends. My arms were, I was goosebumps. It was just the meanest voice.
Is this possible? Debbie says she's got the tapes to prove it. She played them for Dateline.
I know you are gone today.
Who was he? And why was he doing this? Debbie says she came right out and asked him.
And he says, I just want a friend.
Some friend.
Hello?
In under 4 months, SOMMY has turned the Tamais' life upside down, manipulating their phones, their electricity, their life. He can use their number to call and harass others. One day, Debbie tried to order a pizza.
And he cut in saying he wanted a turkey, a partridge, and a pear tree. And I just had to say to the guy, I'll just send my husband down to order it and pick it up.
Another time, they say, SOMMY got inside the TV set.
So you turn on the television and you check the listings on the satellite dish to see what's on. And favorite list, and it says
I put
SOMMY?
bye-bye. Yeah, it said SOMMY.
SOMMY changed the ringer on their phone, so it sounded like this.
I don't think I can miss the phone ringing now.
When the Tamais dialed the police, they say SOMMY would disconnect the call. The local phone company changed their number, even rewired their house several times. SOMMY just kept calling back.
It's almost like he's 2 steps ahead of everybody.
Worst of all, the Tamais say, SOMMY figured out how to listen to conversations inside the house, even record them directly into voicemail. The Tamais insist SOMMY tells them things he could only find out by hearing every word they say, from their bank card PIN number to Debbie's birth date.
So you walk around this house every day thinking that you are being monitored.
Right. Yeah.
But this SOMMY is eavesdropping.
Yeah. Well, we whisper. We whisper most of the time if it's anything.
What kind of life is that?
There's not. There's not.
So your place of refuge, your home,
Isn't
where
home.
people typically hide out from the weirdness of the world.
It's supposed to be your home, your kingdom. You come home after work and you feel great. I can relax and unwind. I come home after work and I'm nervous, worrying about what's going to happen next.
Controlling the TV set, eavesdropping through the phone lines. It's a fascinating mystery. But as news of SOMMY's exploits began to spread across 2 countries, attention started to focus on the Tamai family themselves. And some people began to wonder if they were telling the whole story.
I'm not aware of anything similar to this within the province of Ontario, actually.
Debbie Minot is a spokeswoman for the Ontario Provincial Police.
Have you cleared the family, the Tamai family?
All of our options are open. We're still looking at everything.
So you haven't ruled them out yet?
That's correct.
Can you see why somebody would say, hey, this has got to be a hoax?
Yeah.
There is no way that somebody could do that.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing if it happened somewhere else. If it wouldn't have happened to me. But there's been, like, even reporters here that have talked to him.
2 Canadian reporters told Dateline they did in fact talk to a person calling himself SOMMY. And the police confirmed SOMMY has interrupted phone conversations they've had with Debbie.
What do you want to talk about? Whatever.
You want to give yourself up, get this over with?
I can't do that.
Why not?
Well, because I go to jail.
Let me ask you straight out.
Sure.
Did you guys manufacture this?
If I had the
I wish.
technology to do this, I'd be a millionaire somewhere.
You have a 15-year-old son.
Yeah.
Teenage boys will...
Yeah. You know, at the very
Play
beginning...
pranks.
The very beginning, I asked him. I said, are you joking around? If you are, enough's enough. And he was like, no, Mom, I'm scared.
I wouldn't do this to my own family.
So far, no one, not the police, not the utility companies, not private surveillance teams, or even a former member of the Canadian Mounties has been able to find this not-so-friendly ghost, though not for the lack of trying. The Tamais believe SOMMY got into their house while it was under construction last fall and planted devices they've ripped out walls trying to find. Or they think he could have tapped into a line down the street with so many wires above ground in this still unfinished subdivision. In fact, experts tell us with all the digital and computer technology these days, it is theoretically possible. We were intrigued enough with this mystery to take our own shot at ghost busting. Dateline, along with the Discovery Channel, hired a private security firm recommended by the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service to figure out how SOMMY does it. Just last night, after more than 6 hours, the team emerged and announced they couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. Debbie and Dwayne were devastated, already worried that millions of people think they've lost their minds.
I waited for 2 months before going public to beg for outside help because I knew there'd be skeptics out there.
The last time SOMMY called the Tamais was almost 3 weeks ago. They say he told them he was going on vacation for a couple of weeks.
Wouldn't it be okay with you if he just disappeared, never bothered you again?
No.
Because it's not knowing why or how he did it and wondering if he's going to pop back up.
Whoever or whatever SOMMY is, the Tamais think he's close by, probably in the neighborhood. Police have interviewed many of the neighbors, but have identified no suspects. So why don't the Tamais just move? Well, they're trying, and the house is for sale, but so far, no takers. Their real estate agent is hoping that the story of SOMMY might attract buyers out of curiosity, if nothing else.